All right, Cap. It's always so deep, but I like it. Because to me, it's like you're not, what is that old saying? Allowing the wool to be pulled over your eyes anymore. So from lay vampire, witness, to know personal evidence and to speak out. And then discovery from chakra wisdom. Now, witness very specifically talks about the veils of illusion and deceit being lifted, and it can be a painful truth to acknowledge, but you are becoming a witness to your own experience, and that experience has been you trying to keep a past that no longer fits you, which is very much a part of discovery. You know, this is about realizing that you're more than what you think you are, leaving the past behind, you know, moving into a different phase in your life and no longer, you know, fooling yourself, right? But it's also about a new level of self-care, though. But I think it's really about you discovering the fact that you have been blinding yourself to. All right, Capricorn, here's your overall for the week. Oh, God, the Eight of Cups, you know, and that may not be a bad thing, though, with the Oracle cards being there. You know, if you're finally seeing it now, then it's all about, you know, actually having the courage to walk away from what isn't giving you what you want, you know. But there's always that question. The Eight of Cups is always hard for me to look at. You know, I would rather see the 10. At least it's over. You know, here it's a question of, you know, can you? But I do like the depiction with this one because, you know, the back is turned to those cups that are no longer giving you any kind of fulfillment, right? Oh boy, in the past you have the past, the Six of Cups. Now, this could definitely be about something from the past returning here. Something that, you know, you should probably walk away from, but like I've always said with the Eight of Cups, right, like anybody can tell you to do that, but it's not that easy. Now this could definitely be about somebody coming back through, trying to make amends, right, with the Six of Cups. You know, some of you may still be stuck in the past, though, because of the Eight of Cups being there, but we'll see. In the present, the Chariot, yeah, you know, I mean, this to me with the Eight of Cups is like needing to get things moving, get going, right? Needing to pick up momentum and speed here. You know, it is about victory, but it's about willpower and self-control. But if you're looking at the Eight of Cups, you know, where are you going? You know, now this could definitely be about you needing to actually physically travel somewhere, move somewhere, or somebody from a distance here with the Six of Cups coming through, you know, but I don't know. I look at that and I look at the Eight of Cups and think, you know, it's time to move on, but I don't think it's that easy. Future conditions, yep, needing to pull on your inner strength here to do what you know is right for you. You know, if you know that you need to walk away from this, you know, you gotta get control. With the Chariot being there, but, you know, I'm always waiting to see what's going on here. But the fact that you're needing to pull on strength with this says a lot. You know, but this is also a reminder here, though, too, that you do have this strength. You have the strength to carry on here and move away from the past and stop feeding into it. You know, if it's not giving you any fulfillment. But with the Chariot being there, you know, I worry a little bit. Your best path to follow, the Magician, right, manifesting that cool ass shit. You can make things happen for yourself. You have the ability to do this. It's just that you need to realize, like I said, you know, you are more than what you think you are. You know? I'm sorry, but every time I see the Magician, I don't really think about, you know, manipulation here. This is your advice, for one. You know? And two, I'm not seeing anything that would be suggesting that you're being manipulated, because you're already looking at the Eight of Cups and strength. You know, and the fact that you're opening your eyes now with witness, right? But it's all about you needing to make something happen here for yourself, right? Start manifesting what you want this time. You know, you don't have to continue to feed into something, even if it's about a person and there's history there, right? You know, don't get out of control. Pull on that strength. Do what you know is right for you. Yeah, in your environment, the Five of Pentacles. You know, I look at this and I think that it's not so much about the loss of finances here. You know, I think that this is about you being on the outside looking in on what is going on, but you're going nowhere fast with the Chariot, right? But the other thing, though, too, is with the Six of Cups being there, it could definitely be about rejection that you have faced in the past. That definitely needs to be moved on from, right? Regardless of the fact of whether or not you have somebody coming through here that's trying to, like, make a reconnection. I look at the Five of Pentacles and I think, you know, needing to move along here, needing to push this out and be done with it, especially if it leaves you feeling this way, you know. I don't think it's about you facing any rejection. Your hopes and your fears, the Seven of Cups. What is that? I know I've seen this for you before. With the Seven of Cups being hopes and fears, this to me is about, you know, fantasizing about what could have been. Right? But then this is also about being able to see that there are other options, you know, but you're not doing it though. You're not doing it. And I worry again with the Chariot being there, you know, because it's all about that self-control and then needing to pull on your inner strength here. Not having, you know, this expectation around something coming back through that you already know is not going to give you everything that you want. Your eyes are open to this now. But, right, it's not that easy. It's just not that easy. But if this is something that makes you feel like you're not a part of it, then, you know, why? Why think about what it could have been? Because it won't be. You know, and I hate saying that. But just looking at it, it's like, no. You know, you have the ability to create what you want. It's just you needing to be able to tap into this now instead of reverting back to things from the past that no longer serve you, right? And then coming out, damn, the Hierophant. You know, I look at that and I think definitely getting to a place of, you know, understanding and stability, you know, and then definitely if we're talking about commitment here, you know, this is not something that you want to commit yourself to, you know, looking at the Eight of Cups being the overall. But, you know, with the Hierophant, right, like needing to do what you know is going to work for you, but then also, right, spiritual guidance coming through with the Hierophant. And then you have strength, and then the sign of infinity, just, it reminds me of guidance. You know, and then you have it above the Magician, too. And then the Nine of Wands. I think there's still a part of you here that is looking at this. Sorry about that, Cap. Battery issues, and it's you this week. Now, like I was saying, there's something about this, though, I think that you're still trying to fight off, and then I go back to self-control. So if we're looking at the Fool with the Six of Cups, whatever it is from the past that's coming through that isn't giving you what you want, at one point you may have, like, jumped right into this, but then ultimately to meet rejection, and it's like, no, you're not doing that again, right? Like, you've learned through what you have been through here, especially with the Eight of Cups being there. The Queen of Swords, right? Self-control here. But then also, You know, if we're talking about a person, then definitely it's somebody that's just like pushing you out. But it may turn you bitter and cold and angry, right? Like, I see that, but then I still, with the Nine of Wands, think that the reason why you're needing to pull on your strength and then pull on what you have learned through this is because you're still looking at it. I think that you're very much blocked off between the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Wands, but the fact that you're even taking a glance at it is what, you know, brings me back to this feeling with the Eight of Cups where it's like, you know it's not going to give you what you want. You know? But again, I look back and think your eyes are open now, right? You don't need to continue to do this anymore. And the Fool in Capricorn, I swear to God, I've been doing this for what, a little over 2 years now? And every time the Fool shows up for Cap, you know, it's usually a good thing, but I look at this and think no. You know, especially with the Hierophant being there. You know, because again, the Hierophant ruling the fives, if you have jumped head first into things and ultimately have faced, you know, rejection here or even difficult times with the Five of Pentacles, then absolutely it's about you learning through those difficult changes, you know, and not being the fool again, so to speak. You know, and being careful about where you place your faith. All right, I'm going to shut up now. You know, I look at clarity and I think you have this clarity, especially with what you're pulling in the Oracle cards, right? But needing to clearly hear your inner voice telling you that this is a risk. You are going to be taking a risk here by getting involved in something that, you know, is not going to fulfill you. It's just not going to fulfill you, not with the Eight of Cups being there. You know? But I look at strength and I think it's not that easy. And then with the Eight of Cups, it just like reinforces that. But with the Hierophant coming out, you know, it's like you've learned. You have learned through the past experiences and what you've been through in the past. Even if something's coming back through, it's like, you know, I think you're still looking at it. But then I also think that it's not something that, you know, you want to get involved with again. You know, I do think that the Chariot is about the self-control that you're needing to pull on here. Rather than jumping right into something with, you know, possibly a person here that is just going to make you feel like you're not even involved, like you're on the outside, right? But clarity, you have that clarity. Pay attention to your inner voice, especially if it's telling you that this is a risk. And then love is all around you. Who else got that? I think it was Sag. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. So there is still love around you, right? But, you know, it's important that you're communicating in a loving way, right? Especially if it's having to do with somebody from the past coming through and needing to speak clearly about how you feel here. You know, especially if you feel like this is a risk for you. But I don't, you know, I'm looking at strength and I'm looking at the Hierophant and I feel like, you know, no matter what is coming through, it may be a challenge for you to have that self-control, but I think you already know what is going to be ahead of you here. I do think that you are needing more momentum in your life and getting away from this, but again, your eyes are open. You know? And I look at the Nine of Wands and I don't think it's about being paranoid. I do think that you're taking a look at it here. But then I also feel like you're keeping yourself guarded before you allow something to come back through. Because like I said, with the Eight of Cups being there, it's like, why? Why even do this if it's not going to give you what you need? All right, Cap. So this is definitely going to be about something from the past coming back through that, you know, it's not going to be worth putting any more into. Looking at the Eight of Cups as the overall. You know, we could be talking about a person from the past coming back through a job, something from the past. But you know that it's not going to give you what you want, because I look at it lining down, and I think that that Five of Pentacles is something that you've already experienced. And there's a need for you to reject what is coming through, though, too. Because I do think that you are needing to pull on your self-control and your inner strength here. And, you know, the knowledge that you now have based on past experiences to say no and to reject this. You know, because I still think that it's significant enough that you are taking a look at it, but I think you already know where this is headed. Now, with the Magician, right, you definitely have the ability to manifest, oh my God, if I could talk right. You have the ability to manifest what you want, and it does not need to be that Eight of Cups, right? There is no reason for you to continue to try to keep a past that no longer serves your purpose, right? And looking at these, your eyes are wide open. You're becoming a witness now in understanding and learning through this past experience, but yet here it is again, right? But it's not that easy with the Eight of Cups being there. When you think about everything that's been invested into it, it would make sense that you're looking at it and hoping that things could have been different. But with the Eight of Cups again, it's not going to be any different than what it was before. Now, coming out with the Hierophant and looking at the clarifier is the Fool. The Fool in Capricorn, but I think that for you, it's not wanting to jump into this again. You may have in the past, but, you know, if you face rejection, then why should you take that leap again? But I do think that you're looking at it. Now, with the Queen of Swords, absolutely, we could be talking about the person that you're dealing with being cold and shut off, and then in turn putting you out in the cold here, but then at the same time still coming back through. You know, but then I also see that as you kind of being like, no, I can't. I have to say no to this. I have to cut this out once and for all. But with the Nine of Wands, definitely protecting yourself and your interests, but needing to look at, you know, what you have learned based on the past, with the Hierophant being there. You know, so that you don't allow this to come back in. You know, I just don't see this as something that is worthy of you. Now, looking at the Soul Tree's clarity, you have that clarity. Your eyes are open. There's the clarity of the inner voice, but if that inner voice is telling you that this is too much of a risk, are you listening? You know, needing to hear that inner voice clearly saying that this risk is not worth taking. Now, looking at Whispers of Love, if you're having to reject somebody, looking at Speak the Language of Love, it's just telling you that you need to speak in a loving way. But then also, you know, needing to accept the truth that love is still around you, right? There's still love for you, despite the fact that you may have been through difficulties involving relationships. But if you're needing to reject somebody, it's like just speak it in a way where you're not hurting them, even though you need to cut them out, especially with the Queen of Swords being there. You know, I understand, like I can see it, I understand it, I know the feeling, but I think for a lot of you, it's just now opening your eyes to the fact that this was not worthy of you in the first place.